and welcome back. I am so glad you're here. So, today we are going to talk about crystals, and I absolutely love working with crystals in my energy healing sessions. But even as a little girl, I was always drawn to them. If you don't know, I grew up in Arizona, and I also grew up going to Sedona a lot, which is what really started my journey at a very young age. And if you haven't been there, Sedona is filled with so many crystal shops, you can easily get lost in them. So that's really where it all started. And maybe you yourself love going into the crystal shops and looking at the different crystals they have. So, aside from their beauty and all of the beautiful colors, when you look at crystals, oftentimes the ones that draw you in, the ones that you're attracted to, point to a need, an energetic need for yourself. And I didn't really realize that until I started working with clients. So in my Reiki room, I have various tumbles that I allow my clients to pick from after a session. And of course, as you know, when I do my sessions, I'm tuning into your field and your different energy centers. And I swear every time, let's say, for example, you're my client and I notice the heart space needed a little more TLC. The client, I watch them and they're drawn to malachite or rose quartz. And so I'll sit there and explain to them, that's actually interesting you chose that crystal because that was one of the energy centers that I was really focusing on today. So, something to keep in mind when you are looking at crystals is taking a look at the healing benefits and why you're drawn to them. Crystals, they all have their own unique vibrational frequency that they are vibrating at, and they have different energetic influences for our different chakras. So, they all work in different ways and can affect and help our energy field. And again, different crystals can impact our energetic fields in different ways. So it's important to pay attention to their meaning and how they can benefit you. I do have some examples that I would like to share. If you aren't aware, I do have a crystal shop, and this is not a plug to advertise that. It's truly to talk about crystals. So these that I'm showing, most of them are listed online at my shop. So first, I want to start with hematite because hematite, I often am using it. Let me just see, it's right here. Okay, so hematite, sorry, I'm like not really good at showing this. Okay. It's more of a free form palm stone that I hold, and I picked it because I just like the form of it, like the way I hold it. It just kind of fits nicely if I'm making a fist around it. I promise I'm not like gripping it too tight, but it's great for protection and it really grounds you. There's a weight to it, which is why I love it so much, because I feel like it's almost like bringing me back down into my body. So it's a perfect grounding stone that just really brings you back to center and helps you have a clear mind. At least that's how I'm feeling when I use it. So if I have to have a tough conversation, or I'm doing a presentation, or I'm on video and I'm recording myself and I'm nervous, I love using hematite. Now, let me just backtrack a little bit. So when you are working with crystals, oftentimes we think of our 7 chakras, right? When I'm working with clients, I work actually with 10 chakras. So the 3 added ones are your earth star. So it's actually essentially below your feet, below the root. So below your feet is your earth star. That's added 1. And then 2 is your higher heart chakra. So we have our heart chakra like right about here. And then the higher heart is really in between your throat and the heart space. And then we have our, oh my gosh, I'm drawing a blank. It is our higher crown. Higher crown. So, we have our crown here, and then higher crown is just further up. So I would say about a foot above your head, above your crown chakra. So, okay, going back to the crystal example. So I really like hematite for your earth star chakra. So in a minute, I'll talk about if you want to do your own crystal body layout, where to place them. But hematite is great for your earth star chakra. Another great one is, and you can even use it for your root too. So don't get too caught up in where you're placing them. Another great one is smoky quartz, which this some people like smoky quartz, like with inclusions, rainbow inclusions. So I don't know if I'm like showing it. This one, you can see some rainbows in them if you're putting it in the light. But smoky quartz again is great for grounding as well, clearing negative energy, helping you think clearly. So this is another good one for that earth star chakra, or even your root if you wanted to use it at the root. But really I highly recommend more so for the earth star. So there's that one. Now I didn't have a good example for the sacral, but your sacral chakra, you could use citrine. You can use any orangey stone, so like orange calcite, those types of stones. And then going to, I'm sorry, I do have a sacral one. I don't have your solar plexus. So for your sacral chakra, moonstone. Do you see it? There's like a nice little blue flash. So if you're into crystals, you know it's all about the flash. This one has a really big flash. I'm just not really good at like showing it. Oh, there it goes. Okay. So moonstone is actually a really powerful stone for the sacral, and I love working with it. It's a great fertility stone, but not just fertility. Like, don't worry, if you use it, you're not going to go and get pregnant right away. If that's not what you want, intention is everything. But it's great for emotional healing, which is why I love it, because we store a lot of our emotions, deep-seated emotions and trauma in the sacral. So moonstone is beautiful for that. It can also help with new beginnings. If you're going through big transformation, this is a beautiful stone. And again, I think I said earlier, any crystals that are orange, like orange calcite, those would be great for your sacral. Another one is sunstone, I believe. So just looking at the colors, they tend to correlate with the chakra, if you haven't noticed that yet. So again, solar plexus, I don't have a good example, but I love using tiger's eye and citrine for the solar plexus. So if you have that, that would be great. And I also recommend trying to use flat stones, especially if you're going to do your own body layout, or if you're a healer yourself and you're going to use them on clients. You want to use flat stones. If you use tumbles, which I have used tumbles in a pinch because I didn't have my flat stones yet, they were like rolling everywhere and weren't staying on the body the way I wanted. So just go with the flat stones. Okay. So for our heart chakra, I have rhodonite, which is perfect for compassion, forgiveness, even self-love. And this one's actually shaped in a heart. So that is rhodonite. And you can, use it for your heart space and even for the higher heart chakra too. So that is rhodonite. Another example that I have, it's actually for your throat chakra, which is a real beauty. A lot of people love this, is blue lace agate. Hopefully I'm saying, but placing it on your throat. That's perfect for calm, soothing energy, but calm communication, right? Especially if, for me, I am drawn to it because I want to be able to communicate clearly, and especially when I get frustrated. It takes a lot for me to get frustrated, but when I get there, sometimes it's hard for me to communicate in the best way possible, in a calm and clear-minded tone. So blue lace agate is my jam there. And then I have fluorite here. This is actually good for your third eye too. It helps clear negative energy. It's also good for focus and protection. So let's see here. It's a raw stone. So you see how it's a raw cut versus the blue lace agate was more polished. Oops, sorry. Now, for the raw cuts, I don't recommend placing them directly on the skin, on the body. There's a number of reasons. We don't know how our skin will react. It could make your skin red, irritate it. So there's that. But also with the raw cut, it can absorb your natural skin oils, which can ultimately ruin the crystal. So yeah, raw cut is more so for, in my opinion, like if it's going to be on display, but not for body work. So just keep that in mind. And what did I say? I did the throat. We did third eye is right here. So third eye, and this is actually good for your crown too. Labradorite, it is beautiful because it helps with your intuition. It can be a great spiritual growth crystal and also for protection. So this labradorite, it's actually sunstone, sunset lab, sorry. So you can see like it has the flash and everyone's all about the flash. Let's see. Where are you, flash? Somewhere in there. This one is really flashy though. It's just hard with the lighting. Now this stone is huge, so I don't recommend it for your third eye. You might maybe want one like half the size of this. And then even for the crown, I mean, this could be good for your crown. But I wouldn't recommend third eye, maybe a little smaller stone. And then for your crown chakra, amethyst is great. Again, it's just a very calming crystal. It can help with your intuition as well and mental clarity. And then for the higher crown, I love working with clear quartz. So if you have clear quartz, and you can even use like the small points, tower points of a clear quartz. If you, let's say you wanted to point the point downwards down through to your crown. So that's an idea. So those are my examples. The other thing I wanted to talk about is real quick before we get into the body layouts is the crystal points. So they're like the tiny points that are like this, and sometimes they'll be pointed on one side or they're double pointed on both ends. And so if you're utilizing those, you can, if you use them, you could do several around. So let's just say, sorry, I'm visual. So, where's the heart one? Okay. So let's say I have this on my heart, right? And then I'm using different points, you could put them around them. So I would probably maybe do 6, kind of like 3 on this side, 3 on the other side. And if I have the points pointing out, that is the intention there is to draw out any negative energy that's no longer serving you. So drawing it out. If you point the points inward, it's to bring in the positive healing energy into that space. Now, one thing to remember, it's all about intention. So make sure you set your intentions. Like if you're pointing it inward, you want to draw in the beautiful, positive healing energy into the heart space. If you're pointing it out, same thing, drawing it out. Now, some people like the double pointed points, the small ones, because it will create a nice balanced flow of that energy of, drawing out the negative, bringing in the positive. So just wanted to cover that because I get that question a lot, like how do you use these points and what are they for? So, if you feel like when you're doing a body layout and you just get the feeling that your heart space needs a lot more TLC, you can incorporate those points. Okay, so back to the body layouts. So If you are going to do this at home, I recommend just making sure that if you have pets, especially like dogs, try to put them up because my dog will take them. So, a tip there. And, just make sure you have some quiet time to yourself. I would say anywhere from 20 to 30 minutes. That way you can make time to set your intentions, do the layout, lay with the layout on your body, put on some music, and just really feel into the energy of the crystals for a good 30 minutes, 20 minutes even. So always start with the root or your earth star. So if you're going to incorporate that earth star crystal, you're going to place it between your feet. So if you're just imagine like you're laying out, how if you're in Shavasana and your feet are shoulder width apart, your arms are kind of just like laying out, is ultimately where you want to be. So you'll place the hematite or smoky quartz or whatever you end up using in between the feet. For the root chakra, you place the crystal between your knees. So, and the energy will still draw into the root. So placing it between your knees. The sacral chakra is right below the navel, your belly button. And then solar plexus, you can kind of feel it, but where our solar plexus is at is like where you can kind of dig in. And I'm like digging into that like little cave there. That's where our solar plexus is. So that's where you want to put that crystal. And then for your heart space, you can even just put your hand on your heart and feel where your heartbeat is, but place it right there in the center. Higher heart is going in between the heart space and the throat chakra. Throat chakra, of course, is right here. And then we have our third eye, so you're going to place the crystal there. And then your crown, you can just place it like directly above here. And then for the higher heart, 6 to 12 inches above that. So once you have all of the placements laid down, then you just enjoy the beautiful energy that is flowing through those crystals. Intention is everything when you work with any type of healing, but even with your crystals, really setting the intention of what you're wanting to accomplish. So if you're doing that full body layout, likely your intention is to clear and balance all of your energy centers, your entire energetic field, and just pumping all of that beautiful positive divine source energy into the body. One thing, actually, I'll talk about this in a minute because I want to make sure we talk about cleansing and, charging your crystals. So as far as uses with crystals, I love crystals as jewelry. This is labradorite that I always have around my neck. Oftentimes I have like lapis bracelets. You've seen all sorts of crystal bead bracelets. You can wear them as bracelets. You can place tumbles in a little baggie, like a crystal bag. Oh, I actually have one. A little crystal bag like this. Throw them in your purse, in your car. So smoky quartz and amethyst are great to ground energy, clear negative energy, just kind of promoting calm and focus, especially if you are doing long road trips, or if you just spend your time in the car a lot. It's great to have those crystals too. In your office, clear quartz and fluorite are great for focus. So if you want to have that focused energy, those crystals work great in the office space. Also, Black tourmaline is great around electronics for EMF protection. So if you want to place it by your computer or TV, those types of electronics, that's great too. And in your home space, amethyst is perfect, especially in those big communal areas like the family room, or if you have like a sitting room or tea room where you have a lot of guests come and visit. Amethyst is great to help create that calming energy, and just clearing, balancing the energy in the room, but really it's helping calm too. So, and it's a great talking point. Like if you have a beautiful amethyst in the room, a lot of people compliment it and then you can educate them. Also selenite. I like having selenite wands. You can place them if you have like a big enough ledge, you can place them, above the door, near the door, even like at the foot of your bed, under your bed, near entryways. I mean, selenite is just great for maintaining that balanced flow of energy. So if you want to kind of add an extra oomph to the other crystals you have in your space, selenite is a great one. What else? Okay. So let's go to cleaning the crystals. So if you have a lot of crystals, maybe from time to time you want to clean them if they're dusty. Always use like a soft cloth if they need some care. But if you really want to like clean them in water, you can do that. You can add either Himalayan salt, or if you want to use soap, I just recommend using a very, very mild soap, like fragrance free, just super mild soap. And if you're doing that, you want to be cautious of crystals that are water sensitive. So selenite is water sensitive, malachite's water sensitive. Those are the two biggest ones that I'm aware of. But you don't want to soak them in water because that will ruin the crystals. So just keep that in mind. As far as clearing negative energy from the crystals, so you can do a number of things. On a full moon night, you can place your crystals in the windowsill, or even place them out directly into the moonlight. So if you have access to the moonlight, I mean, yeah, put them directly under that moonlight. I do that. And from time to time, the weather may not be good, so I'll put them in my windowsill. That works. If you are attuned to Reiki, you can Reiki your crystals. And I love Reikiing crystals because when I have customers who buy crystals from my shop, I have a process of smudging them, and then I always send Reiki to them. Like I'll hold them and send Reiki to the crystals. So that's another great way to clear them. Using your sound bowls. So you can see I have, wrong way. I have sound bowls right there. So you can place them around the sound bowl and play the bowl to let the sound resonate into the crystals. You can even hold them while you're playing the sound bowls. I know some people like to place them in there. Sometimes I'll place like one small tumble in there, but I don't recommend doing that, especially if you have like the crystal ones, and then plus the sound may not sound as nice. So you can just hold them or place them around the sound bowl to clear the energy. And then smudging, of course. So if you have sage, honestly, you could use an incense stick, but I know everyone has their preferences. I like using actual sage and burning it, or Palo Santo. Now, if you have a ton of crystals, this is a great tip. I know this basket is huge, but if you have a smaller basket with holes in it, really like you want the holes, you can place your crystals in there, right? So if you have a bunch and you just want to like sage a bunch at once, you can do that. And then taking the sage under it, around it, to smudge a bunch of crystals at once. So tip there. And again, really everything is all about intention. So setting intentions for, what you want the crystals to do, right? So if you're going to put some in a bag for your purse, like set an intention, like what are those crystals going to do for you? If you're going to hold one while you're at work, or you're going through a presentation or an interview, like what's your intention? Why did you pick this crystal? What do you want it to help you with? So trying to think if there's anything else I need to share about crystals. I'm sure there's more, and I can, do plenty more videos. Ooh, I thought of something, but this can be a future video. So making crystal grids, which I actually have one. Maybe you can see, oh, wrong way. It's right there, right here. Right there. You can barely see it. So I have a lot of fun making crystal grids, and these are super powerful. So that is going to be another video, because I think everyone can use them. You can use them for your own personal intentions. You can use them for friends and family. You can put them around your home to amplify energy in certain areas of the home. So stay tuned for that one. But I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it was very informative for you. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. I'm happy to answer them. If you're curious about my crystal shop, I'll leave a link below. But otherwise, I hope you all have a beautiful rest of your day, and thank you so much for watching.